Today's video will contain copious amounts of face palms done by the master of face palming himself, Man Ray.
Asexuals, commonly referred to as ace, are those described as lacking sexual attraction to others or having low to absent interest in sexual activity.
In other words, just some average Joe who is just not into sex.
Despite implications of asexuality existing since the dawn of humanity, asexuality as a sexual orientation and field of scientific research is still relatively new, with the first recognition in a scientific document dating back only 120 years ago.
Well, then that's not new. You say it's been around for 120 some years. That's not really new. That's fucking old, man. And if this has been around for that long, how come I've only known about it since 2016? You know that one year where some guy got picked to, be in some special building in Washington, D.C., and everyone just went crazy to the point where they were just throwing everything at them to say that this guy is a jerk for being this, and now they're even making up terms to make it sound like he's an evil person for hating this. That moment.
As made evident by the thousands of comments from aces on my video with sex therapists who did not acknowledge aces, asexuality is extremely common, yet rarely recognized in our culture. My name's Anthony Padilla.
What the hell kind of an entrance was that? You bust through the roof and then you have CGI sparks and smoke show up there? That's pretty lame. If you want a really good destructive entrance, I'll show you. Here, watch.
Hello, meatbags. Welcome back to yet another...
And that is a destructive entrance. Thanks, Prime. See you at Trivia Night.
God damn it!
And today I'm going to be sitting down with aces to learn the truth behind this sexual orientation that far too many have written off as outrageous or ridiculous. Is asexuality a valid sexual orientation?
Yes.
Looking for a yes? Wrong!
Or is it really just a way for people who are too scared of a romantic relationship to emotionally regress and avoid human connection altogether? Are asexuals truly able to live happy and fulfilling lives without strong sexual desire?
Can a person go on living life without thinking of sex 24/7 and just do, everyday stuff?
Or are they simply convincing themselves that the deprivation of this basic human desire is normal in an attempt to suppress a deeper or darker insecurity or trauma?
You mean someone who is a victim of rape or sexual assault and wants nothing to do with it or even think about it because of what that person experienced?
Hi, Lauren.
Hi.
Hello, Andrew.
Hey, Anthony.
Hey, Shelby.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming out and teaching me about the wondrous world of asexuality.
Very wondrous.
What do you consider yourself? Asexual, ace?
Asexual.
Gray asexual.
I usually just would use the word asexual, although I haven't used it a lot. Because I haven't said it many times.
You haven't talked about your sexuality
I've never
much?
talked about it.
Okay, fine. Because I'm sure there are more important things to talk about than discussing your made-up gender.
This is your
It's my debut.
debut. Congratulations.
Yeah, you're lucky you get this on camera.
Yeah.
Yay! How exciting! Getting interviewed by a guy who looks like he just got out of bed!
What does being asexual entail?
The definition is you don't experience sexual attraction.
You mean you have preferences? Oh, jeez Louise!
So a straight guy feels about another guy or a straight girl feels about another girl. I just feel that about both genders.
If you're talking about, an asexual kind of feeling, well then that would make you bisexual.
People are just like 100%, I want to have sex. Definitely not me. I'm more like maybe a 2% type of guy.
2% of the time you're into it?
Okay, in other words, you're not a horny bastard 24/7. Your brain is actually working. It's not focused on one thing.
Like asexual simply means someone who doesn't experience sexual attraction. Gray asexual is someone who, experiences just a bit.
That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
How long have you identified as asexual?
I went to an all-girls Catholic academy, so we were taught abstinence.
Oh, great. Abstinence is great.
Yeah, whatever. Answer the fucking question.
We even had a club that was called True Love Waits,
Oh.
where we had a whole ceremony where we
Yeah.
wore white dresses, we put on purity rings.
The implication from the title alone implies that love is intrinsically connected with sexual desire.
Yeah, I just went along with it to sort of have an excuse to get myself out of dealing with that for a while. And then when I started dating at 21 was when I kind of realized I didn't really work the same way as everyone else. I put it off for so long, I was like, I don't think everyone else feels the way that I feel.
And not to mention, she did go to a Catholic school, so something religious related. Because according to religion, the best time to have sex is when you're married to someone else. Because sex before marriage is bad, apparently. So yeah, the school's trying to, encourage teenagers like her to, just keep your pants on until the time is right. Don't just jump into it. Be good, and then when you get married, get bad.
Started in high school.
Yeah.
And, everyone was kind of into boys, and I yeah.
Well, that was a weird little snippet right there. It's almost like, hey, she's remembering her past, and she's like, oh my god, I was that kind of person back then. Ugh. I should probably give you guys a heads up. I mean, this is just me, but it looks like Anthony Padilla is just forcing his laughter out, and he does it in such an annoying way. So he does it a bunch in this video, just to give you a heads up. And speaking of which, I mean, the way he's laughing, yeah, I can relate to that.
When I kiss someone, it's kind of like kissing a wall. Like,
Yeah.
and another thing I said, which she didn't like, was,
Yeah.
I don't understand cheating. What's the big deal?
You said that?
I said that because I've never understood it. I mean, I have multiple friends. Why not have multiple? What's the difference?
The difference is, you don't fuck your friends. You don't go to bed with your friends. You don't French kiss a friend. You don't do various X-rated things with your friends that I cannot say here because there's a good chance I'll take this video down.
Are there different ways to identify as asexual within the, is there a spectrum?
So you can be like a sex positive asexual, which I am.
Yeah.
Right? And this is someone who's fine with sex. They're fine with having sex. They're fine with other people having sex. There are sex repulsed asexuals who will never actually have sex. And they have no desire to.
The idea is disgusting to them?
Correct.
Okay, so it's just someone who is just not into sex. We don't need any specific labeling there.
Demisexuals, who are people who are very much asexual, but once they find a partner that they really connect with, then they're like, okay, I'm fine. I'm actually attracted to this person.
Right.
Oh, so in other words, that person fell in love with another person. And it probably worked via, attraction and then dating, and then love comes in. Oh my god, it's like we never heard of this concept before.
There are some asexuals who are aromantic,
Yeah.
aka they don't fall in love. There are others who are very much romantic. And they're like, okay, like I do want a partner, maybe a lifelong partner who will connect with me emotionally.
How do you identify within this spectrum?
Asexual, that's the word that I feel the most comfortable with. And I think that I would probably say hetero-romantic.
You'll find hetero-romantic relationships desirable, but that's where it ends.
Yeah, which is hard, because that just means I'm dating a bunch of straight guys who don't really get it.
You gotta love these quick subliminal cuts that Anthony throws at us. I mean, look at this one. Get it together, fellas. Yeah, somehow like it's our fault. The guys that go out with this girl, and somehow, she's the one that's making things complicated and then calls it off.
Do you find that people commonly assume asexuality is the same as celibacy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like very often people think that. I've had people tell me, I'm also celibate, I don't want to have sex anymore this year. And I'm like,
This year?
it doesn't work like that, okay?
Yeah.
But celibacy means that you just vowed not to get married, right? Like, even if you never got married, or you were, but got out of it, maybe with like a divorce, Or maybe something sad happened, like you lost a loved one, and you just thought, you know what, I don't, marriage is not really important anymore. I don't mind not getting married again. It's fine. I still don't know how you connect celibacy with asexuality. I don't know. My brain is fucking frying.
Yeah.
Like this is not a seasonal thing. This is like every day.
I've dated a lot of people
Oh yeah.
who are not asexual.
Yeah.
Whenever I do intimate stuff, it's more like kind of like an invasive medical exam.
Oh really? That's how you feel.
That's how I feel.
Okay, so in other words, you're just not very good at dating? Maybe try better?
Like, we're on a date and it's like, oh, this is fun, we're getting to know each other, and I'm like, oh no, it's this part of the night. It's not that it's necessarily bad, it's just I feel nothing, so it's kind of awkward. Like, if you imagine taking all the emotion out of it, it would feel like a medical exam.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like that maybe dating is not your forte? I mean, if things were going so well on the date in the daytime and then night came, what changed? I mean, what happened in that date? To me, it just sounds like you're very uncomfortable just going out on dates.
Do you proudly tell people that you're asexual, or do you keep that more of a secret?
It's like a need to know basis.
Oh, really? Need to know, huh? And does need to respect follow up on that too?
Yeah.
If someone, if I'm at a bar or something drinking with some people, and someone comes up to me, and I really want to, like, that's when I gotta let them know.
Does that happen to you?
It has happened to me.
Oh, whoa.
I swear it's happened to me. I swear.
I wish they hadn't censored that part so that way I would know what the hell he just said. Because now it's like, well, what did he say? Did he say that, I want to fuck you? And then he said no? Or did someone else say, I'm going to fuck that? Or fuck that girl? I totally missed it because you censored it. Okay, so based on what he said, with that unnecessary censoring sound effect, I'm guessing that maybe someone came up to him and says, I want to fuck you. And then I guess he has to pull the cock block card and say, nope, I'm asexual, not interested, go away. Yeah, I'll make someone go, huh? And just walk away all confused, like, what the hell does that mean?
Have you found that it's possible to experience a happy and healthy relationship that doesn't include any sexual attraction whatsoever?
Is there more to, just how cute their face looks, or how big he is down there, or how big she is up there? Is there something about this person that has you thinking in your head, I want to be with this person for the rest of my life? That kind of thing?
I actually have a loving boyfriend of a year.
Yeah.
So the answer to that would be yes.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. So, me and my boyfriend do have sex. We are physically intimate. And, maybe not as much as the average couple.
And for you, it's more about making that intimate connection rather than a like primal drive that you feel?
Right. It's more of an emotional act as opposed to a physical one.
And that's totally fine. You see, as us humans, that's what happens in relationships. And you would do everything you can to build that relationship more than just, sex. It's more about, traits and personalities, your likes and dislikes, just what you have in common. It just builds up.
My first boyfriend was at 21, and then really quickly he realized that I had never had sex before, and he wasn't okay with that.
Oh.
He said a lot of things that were pretty manipulative to tell me that there's something wrong with me.
Oh God, no, please tell me you did not date Onision, please!
Part of me wanted to make it work, and I, at that point, was like, it's my fault, I'm doing something wrong.
Of course, society is constantly telling you that it's normal to feel these things, and if you don't, then it's something wrong with you.
There's something wrong with you. He thought I was making a big deal out of it, and I just needed to get it over with.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter if I didn't want to.
Yeah.
So I got out of there real quick.
You sure you didn't date Onision?
I mean, that takes a lot of strength to get out of a situation like that, especially when you're constantly being told from every angle that you're in the wrong, that you need to be giving someone something in order to be true to yourself.
And for a relationship to work. But that sort of led me on the search to figure out, like, is there a word for it? Is there something wrong with me? Do I need to go to a doctor? And that's how I found the word asexual.
Right.
And that there were other people like me.
No, that guy was clearly a dick, and, it's probably best that you were no longer with that guy.
How do you feel about our culture's affinity for overly sexualizing almost everything?
Why does sex sell so well?
It makes me a little uncomfortable. I mean, most things make me uncomfortable anyway, so that's not even an asexual thing.
So as someone with anxiety, I can relate.
I'm just, always uncomfortable.
I still find it entertaining. I don't know why.
You think sexual things are entertaining to see?
I love romantic comedies.
Yeah.
And like, you don't really see the sex on screen, it's about the intimate relationship.
Right.
Translation, boring. That's a good one. Ow!
So it's interesting to me. Watching porn, on the other hand, probably be entertained by like the plots.
People wonder who watches porn for the plot, and here we are. Have societal pressures ever made you question your own sexual desires or lack thereof?
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I mean, I've seen friends go through just really stressful times, and I'm like, that just seems like a lot of work.
What, like breakups and stuff?
Yeah, like they're, pregnancy scares,
Yeah.
pregnancy happening, you know.
Yeah, that's called being human.
Do you plan to have children someday?
I don't know.
You don't know?
More that I'm like scared of the whole pregnancy thing.
You're scared of pregnancy more than the children.
Oh yeah. Well,
Children are scary.
I have no desire to raise a small little human being. Has nothing to do with sex or anything.
Right.
I just don't have that type of commitment for 18 plus years.
Just not into small creatures that need something every single moment of their lives until they're 18?
Correct.
Or plus?
Or plus. Yeah, you got to pay for them to go to college and everything. It's too much work.
Hey, gap face. College is optional. You don't have to do it. There's no law that says that parents must save money to get their kids through college. It's not a requirement. Besides, you seen colleges these days? Not worth it. Time or money. No, excuse me. Time and money.
What's something you wish you could say to people who question asexuality as a sexual orientation?
First of all, you.
Fuck you too!
Second of all, educate yourself.
No! No!
I already had a hard enough time trying to decipher one of these definitions you threw at us, and I still don't get it.
Third of all, I think all identities are valid at the end of the day.
Well, if you look at the other sexual orientations, if you think of it as a box, there's heterosexuality, there's homosexuality, there's bisexuality. What's the opposite of that? Asexuality.
So the opposite of being sexually attracted to male and female is not being sexually attracted to male and female. You see what you see what the crap I have to put up here? See what I don't get? I don't get you.
So it makes perfect logical sense that it exists, and it does exist.
the idea of sexuality and asexuality, it's never for anybody else. It's for you.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't need to be anybody else's business. And whether you believe asexual is a thing, whether you think it's how they were raised, if they were raised in abstinence like I was, has a factor. Why does that matter? If that's just how I want to feel, why do you have to have a say in it?
Then why are there people out there trying to make it mandatory that we should have like a sticker that says, "Hi, my name is this," and below it should say what our gender is and what our pronouns are? How come they want us to do that on social media platforms? How come the police have to know what your sexuality and pronouns are? If anything, this is all just for fucking attention. I swear, this crap would never have happened if Trump had not been elected president. Because ever since he did, this is where people just went nuts. I mean, I forgive me for going Alex Jones here, but I believe people went nuts when he got elected, and this is where, all of these different genders get just spew out of nowhere. Just so that way we would say to, hey, that guy you just voted in, he hates this one, he hates that one, he hates this and this and this and this, he hates all these genders. Yeah, they exist. We got the science to prove it. And then we ask him, okay, what's science? It's like, you don't believe me? Well, you're a hater. Ugh.
Carrot Juice wants to know if you consider yourself to be part of the LGBTQ plus community.
There's a little bit of discourse of whether asexuals even belong in LGBTQIA plus spaces.
But that is what the plus is for. It's for all the other genders that won't fit in this little acronym right here. Otherwise, it would just be a mashup of just mixed up letters. Like what you see when you type in a web address and there's more shit at the end.
Yeah.
Or in the community at all, and that some people will say we're just straight people looking for attention.
Correct!
Or we don't have different experiences from someone who's heterosexual, which I would disagree.
Yeah.
And even if, we don't have to worry about being kicked out of our houses, that I wouldn't compare, but my experience, especially my battle with myself, where I wasn't accepting of myself, I didn't want to be asexual.
Yeah.
It was hard.
In the LGBT community, there is still a problem of people who are more than just gay, right? Like being LGBT stands for bisexual, and even then bi erasure still exists, both in and out of communities. So there's me even more on the fringe as asexual.
Yeah.
And, I don't even have a letter in the acronym, and it's like, it's a struggle.
That is the whole point of the fucking plus sign! Yeah, but there's another, apparently, sexuality, thanks to Ash Ardell, called abrosexual. I did a video of this with Prime about this. That's not in the official A on your little list, but that's why the plus sign is there. It's for other genders that won't fit in the damn, acronym, because there's already a bunch of mixed up letters already. Do we really need more?
Patrizia Pie wants to know if you ever find it difficult to find other asexuals who understand.
I have one friend.
Oh yeah? So you guys connect over that?
Yeah, and she's the only person really that I know who
Yeah.
is, they say maybe 1% of the general population
Yeah.
is.
I just did the math. That's like 75 million people.
That's a lot
in
of
the world.
people.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, so they're out there.
But how do you know those 75 million are asexual, as you say they are? I mean, where's your source for that? And I'm guessing when you said they, are you referring to, is there a group out there that did this study? Or is this they, your lady friend, who goes by that pronoun? You see the problem here? How the hell do you guys know?
Azor wants to know if you ever wish you had more sexual desires, to fit in more. Or do you prefer being asexual?
Do you want to actually, expand your preferences to what you want for a partner, or do you just want to continue being a confused random slut?
I thought that I would, or I did wish that when I was just discovering who I was, because I thought it would make everything easier in relationships.
I am who I am. I really can't change that.
Yeah.
Like once I came to the realization, that was actually a big moment for me, because I was finally comfortable in the body that I'm in. And I was like, okay, we're good to go.
What is it about being asexual, if anything, that brings you the most joy?
Probably just the fact that it makes it easier to find good people, because people will show their colors much faster if you're not giving them what they want right away.
What are you trying to say here? That straight people are dickbags? What is this?
I guess the thing would just more time to do the things I want to do.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of asexuals agree. You got so much more time.
The same would apply to the gays and the straights as well. I mean, you have certain things you want to focus on. Like, okay, I want to focus on this one job that I really want to work at. So it may require some education, so I have to take time off from relationships or whatever to focus on that, get a job that I like, build that up, and then I'll go dating. It's that kind of planning.
The cake.
What?
The cake. You haven't found out about the cake yet?
Not the one at the end of Portal?
That cake is a lie, though. So not that cake. In the asexual community, we absolutely love cake. But don't ask me why.
Does that have to do with sexuality?
Absolutely not. No. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you're having sex, don't you want cake more? Like, I think that's just how that works.
A good way to understand if you're asexual or not is if when you are experiencing something sexual, you'd rather be having cake.
Correct.
Can it be both?
Has anyone in your life ever made you feel less than?
I wouldn't say guys made me feel less than, but they just didn't understand and tried to push it anyway. And that made me feel like I wasn't being listened to or respected as a person.
Right. It was almost like they didn't even accept that to be a reality.
I remember I told this one guy, I was like, look, I'm asexual. And we had this deep conversation and he's like, I feel like we've gotten closer because of this. And I think then he kissed me or something.
Totally missing the point.
Yeah.
Has being asexual affected any of your relationships?
Yes, absolutely. I used to have a 3-month like expiration of any relationship that I was in.
Really? Like once the honeymoon phase ends?
Once the honeymoon phase ended, it was like, this just isn't gonna work, and that's usually how it went. I wasn't able to communicate this very effectively, right? Communication breaks down overall. I'm not broken. There's nothing to fix here. I'm absolutely perfect. 10 out of 10.
Right, never a tear, never a problem in life.
You'd be lucky to have me.
Do you ever get anxious when you're about to disclose to someone that you're asexual?
Oh yeah. You want to find a
Yeah.
person that you can be comfortable doing it with, because like your knees are knocking and you
Yeah,
get
it's a lot of
your teeth clink and
a lot of
fun.
this. And I'm not
got
clapping. Is there anything that you would like to say to anyone who is asexual, or maybe is considering that they might identify as asexual, but maybe they're uncomfortable, maybe they're unsure about coming out because they're afraid of judgment?
When I was doing a little bit of self-discovery, I was using the word broken a lot, and I don't want other people to feel like there's anything wrong with them or anything to be fixed. You're not broken, and whatever word you feel like identifying with is there for you to feel comfortable. It doesn't need to be for anybody else but you.
You are valid. Don't let anybody else tell you any different.
Listen to yourself and be true to yourself. You'll know if you're not attracted to someone, you'll know if you are. Don't let people tell you what to do. Don't give in to people just because you think that you should, or just to make them happy. Like, just be in touch with yourself, and you'll know what orientation you are if you allow yourself to believe the truth about yourself.
Well, thanks, I guess. I'm still confused over all of this. I mean, he got these made-up terms that just came out of nowhere, and these definitions just make no sense whatsoever. I'm not even going to go even further into this. This is just nuts. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and let me just throw in this... I gotta do it. Let me just throw in one more clip to finish this off.